There goes that man's jockstrap.
Oh my God, did you see that? America's team? Yeah, right.
Oh, baby, it's a big day in sports.
There's nothing like battling it out with your teammates all season long to go win a championship.
Green Bay's got it this year.
Huge move for them. I think it's going to be a game changer.
We have a lot to talk about this busy week in the sports world. Welcome to the In a League of Their Own podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the college section of our episode on this Wednesday. Just for kind of a final recap, we're going to be doing different segments for each of the sports, NFL, NBA, NHL, PGA, and then, as I said for this one, college sports. So hoops, college football, things like that. We'll be talking about that kind of stuff here. Breaking down, making these segments shorter for you guys so it's easier to watch. If you guys want to listen to certain headlines and certain sports, feel free to go listen to those. But kind of kicking off our college talk here for this one, our Wisconsin Badgers, men's hoops, they move up to number 8 on the AP poll, winning 7 straight. They host 14 Michigan tomorrow. Just impressive with what they've been able to do this year. I know we're, again, a month or so ago, we were talking about kind of what the Big Ten was looking like. We were talking about Michigan State, Ohio State, Purdue, Illinois kind of being the top teams in the Big Ten. The Badgers making some noise and insert themselves into the top 10 as one of the better teams in hoops this year.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch a whole bunch of them this season so far, but yeah, record looks good. Seems like we've shown up and we've played the teams that we needed to beat so far. Obviously, we'll see if we can beat Michigan State. What is that, tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
And
For Friday. Yeah, Friday.
Yeah, hopefully they can keep it rolling. Obviously, we're number 2 right now in the Big Ten behind Purdue. So let's just keep rolling.
Yeah. And then kind of talking about a team that's been slipping in the college ranks, Duke. Their new rank hasn't come out yet, but they fall.
They're 6.
That was before their upset. Because they were 6 when they played Florida State yesterday, and they lost. I think it was 79-78. So who knows how far they'll fall? If they fall outside the top 10, we'll see.
Rankings wise, Kentucky has the same record and they're 12th. So I'm guessing around the 10, 11, 12 mark.
All right. Yeah, so good thing for Duke, though, they don't play a ranked team for the rest of the season. So long as the teams that they play down the road don't go on surges and end up in the top 25. But they do finish the regular season in that always fun matchup against UNC. Do you think that they can climb back as one of the top teams in college hoops for one final push for Coach K? Or do you think that he kind of rides off into the sunset with a mediocre season?
I think they let it rip. They are the most talented as far as names in the sport in college hoops. They have the most talented team as far as recruiting, rankings, all that stuff. They also did down number 1 Gonzaga earlier this year. They beat Kentucky, who's ranked high, beat Ohio, or they ended up losing to Ohio State, which is why Ohio State got up there. But I don't know, not playing. I feel like some of these teams are going to get ranked towards the end of the year, like UNC potentially, Pittsburgh. Obviously, I don't know what their records are right now, but yeah, Pittsburgh's definitely a no. So yeah,
Syracuse, I think they play. They're usually somewhat.
They're
decent.
not good, right? They're not.
Oh, they're not. Oh, I know in previous years they've been good, but
yeah. But Notre Dame has a chance to get up ranked. Wake Forest has a chance to get up there. Virginia, so they still have a chance to play some pretty good teams throughout the rest of the season. I feel like they do go on somewhat of a decent run. I don't see them having a chance to win the tournament at all, but I can see them at least having a satisfying season for Coach K on his last ride.
Sounds good.
And then coming to my thing here, do you think that the NCAA needs to start setting some sort of regulation on the transfer portal now that it seems like kids are just doing it for the NIL deals or other sorts of reasons, having nothing related to the actual education?
Yeah, I mean, with, we were talking about in an earlier segments, more money, less problems. In this case, more money, more problems is the consensus. Yeah, I mean, obviously good for these college athletes to get NIL deals. I mean, it's been a long time coming that they deserve to get some cut of the millions of dollars that they bring into these. The overall spectrum of the NCAA, and then obviously the specific colleges they play for. But with all like opening the floodgates wide open, eventually you're gonna have to pull the reins back and, like you said, put some regulations on this as far as maybe setting a GPA goal, things like that. I mean, that already exists. You have to be eligible, like your GPA has to be high enough. But in order to be eligible for NIL deals, maybe up that GPA higher than whatever, I think it's a 2.0 or a 2.5, whatever it is, that you have to be eligible to play college sports. Maybe make it a 3.0 or a 3.2 to be eligible for these NIL deals.
Some of these kids are getting in high school. Like the Troy McEwers kid that
Oh
went
yeah,
to Ohio State. He got $1 million and a truck his senior year of high school because he
yeah.
committed to Ohio State. So that doesn't, I feel like, solve the problem at all.
As far as upping the GPA.
Yeah, because that teachers can be coercive in this, schools can be cooperative in this for a kickback. Like there's so many ways where you can cheat that part of it.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just the first thing that came to mind. I don't know. Like, I guess what's your take on it as far as?
The only thing that I could see possibly is that per year you only have one kid per sport, 2 kids per sport eligible to transfer. And it has to be kids who aren't starters, has to be kids who aren't playing, and it has to be for the betterment of, because a lot of the cases right now, it's like guys who don't want to compete. I'm a third string at this school. When I came here to be a 1, guys are better than me, so I'm just going to transfer and go somewhere smaller so I could play all the time. I feel like that shouldn't be allowed. I feel like you basically transferring should lose a year of eligibility. 1. 2, I feel like there should be a limit on how many kids per university or per sport are able to transfer, because every day you hear of more hundreds and hundreds of kids going into the portal, not knowing what to do. Oh, this school fucked me over. Oh, this. It's just like, what did you expect? Everything, the world is going to be handed to you? Like, just because you're on scholarship doesn't mean there aren't another 100 kids that are on scholarship right next to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And every single year coming in, it's like every university is trying to get better and better and better with sports. I feel like the only way that you literally could have any regulation on this is the amount of numbers and make it count against a year of your eligibility. So you don't get the benefit of, okay, they fucked me over here, I'm just going to transfer and not lose a year. No, you should. Are you sure you want to do this? Okay, you have 1 less year to play.
Yeah. And I think too, as far as NIL, something I just thought of as far as obviously lessening the transfer portal numbers, because that has a lot to do with wanting to go to a school where if I go here, I'm going to have a better chance for sponsorships, NIL deals, things like that. If they put kind of a salary cap system on these universities to where they can't hand out millions left and right, come play here, come play basketball here, come play football here, you only get so many deals or so much money to give out, so that only your top athletes are, some of your smaller athletes still get a kickback, but not, they don't go to an Alabama to play football knowing I'm going to get a huge deal from Gatorade or from Nike or from whatever to go play here. By putting kind of a cap on it, it keeps kids put, okay, I'm not going to go elsewhere. Or by putting like a kind of a grace period or eliminate or a period where you can't sign NIL deals. If you do transfer to another school, okay, you're ineligible for 3 months or 6 months for NIL deals, so that it takes that off the table as to why a kid might transfer from one school to another. Again, just some other ideas to throw out there. I'm sure there's holes in them of where they can be exposed, but I mean, they're just some foundational ideas to where having a period of time where you can't do NIL deals, or just overall putting caps as far as deals they give out and money they give out.
Yeah, but if you do set a cap on that, where's the starting point? Because not each university has the same amount of money.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The NIL deals are from Gatorade and Nike. They have the money
And they're
that they're
from
dishing out.
and they're from boosters.
Yeah. See again.
So like what? Yeah. So like, what would be the starting point? Because like a Coastal Carolina compared to Alabama, like where would that money starting point for name, image, likeness deals be?
I don't know. So that's a
You
tough.
know,
That's a
like
tough number to throw out there.
It is.
A million would sound like a lot to Coastal Carolina. A million's like, that's it at Bama. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
like,
one kid got $1 million.
yeah. So yeah. So I guess less of the money cap and more of the handing out deals cap. Because
But then again, how can you tell someone that they can't make money off their name? You know,
yeah,
like ever since that law got passed, that there's no turning back from that anymore.
No.
And that's what I feel like we do. That's what opened to this problem without the upper part of it being regulated and controlled, foreseeing this problem happening.
Yeah, they didn't ease into it. They just opened it up and they're boom, hundreds,
And
thousands
now
of
you have high
athletes got
school
signed
kids who are
immediately.
millionaire. And now you have high school kids that are getting paid salaries by these companies for being so good at this. What does that have? You know, like that's such a huge impact.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously overall, I mean, good these kids are getting paid, but like you said, it's taking away the value of an education. Of kids are now going to colleges because they get more time on the field of the court. They get these name and image likeness deals when ultimately it's called college football, not football college. College comes first. The education should come first. So hopefully they find a way to obviously regulate it in some way. But yeah, I mean, they kind of the world had their foot on the NCAA's throat, and they just let the floodgates open instead of easing into it like they probably should, and let it small pieces here and there to ease into it and figure out the bumps along the way. Now, by opening it all up, there's hundreds of issues I'm sure that they have to deal with because of it now.
Yeah, agreed. And I guess hot take, do you think Jim Harbaugh leaves and goes back to the NFL now after this whole transfer portal and him not re-signing? Because there's rumors that he's going to Oaktown or Vegas, excuse me, now.
Oh, I don't know.
Because it's just like, all right, I made it to the college football playoff. We were ranked this. We did this. I did this. There's just no fucking way we can compete against SEC teams. And it doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
There's no chance. Unless you're in the SEC, there's no chance. And it's just been proven time and time again.
Yeah, it's again, money talks. A couple extra zeros on the paycheck.
They should have their own
he's
league.
He's gonna go wherever he wants. Yeah.
They should have their own league.
Yeah. Kind of like how soccer
fair.
Premier League or whatever. All right,
Yeah.
SEC, you guys go play each other. We're gonna keep it.
You guys have your own tournament, and we'll have everybody else in the regular tournament. Because it's never been fair as far as football goes.
No.
Ever since they added this college football playoff in,
Mm-hmm.
like that started this whole Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, LSU. That's what started Ohio State. That's what started the downfall of it all, I feel like.
Yeah.
And another thing too, if you don't have the football playoff so focused with 4 teams, open it up to 12. First 4 teams get a bye, and then they host a playoff game at their school or whatever the case may be. you won't have these kids jumping ship to want to try to get to all these top teams all the time.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're top 12, we get in and we get a chance. You don't have to be a kid sitting there on Michigan going, fuck, if I ever want to have a chance at one, I need to go to the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that
Yeah.
could also have some sort of benefit.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess to answer your question, I feel like he stays at Michigan. I mean, I haven't seen any. I mean, I'm sure he's had people in his ear. I'm sure he might have a couple interviews this offseason as far as where he might get his job back in the NFL, but I don't know.
I mean, he did win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough because again, there's just those couple extra zeros on a paycheck. He'll jump ship, like no doubt. But
Well, do you really get paid more in the NFL than college? Hell no.
in some cases,
Coaches signing $95 million deals. Well,
yeah,
I don't know one coach that's making $95 million.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure to say all, I guarantee that there's NFL head coaches making more than a lot of college football coaches.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the top. Like you go to the top of the top is where you have to compare it because that's apples to apples. Like Belichick is the highest paid coach and he makes $12 million a year.
And what is Saban, like 10 to 15, somewhere in there? 8. For some reason I think it's 8, unless that was somebody else I'm thinking of.
How much money does Nick Saban make a year? 11.5.
So they're basically dead nuts on each other.
He makes $1 million less.
Yeah.
Than the most winningest coach in fucking NFL. Like, I feel like in college and you have power over,
Yeah. I mean,
all the recruiting, you have your fingers in everything where you're an NFL head coach and you come into a position where you're a puppet and you don't get to control anything.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Mike McCarthy.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm sure like college coaches are making more than the NFL because there's 160 D1 colleges and there's 32 NFL teams. So paying 160 coaches, they're probably getting more money than 32 coaches. So in that respect, then yeah, obviously college football is making more. But yeah, I mean, it's a stressful business to be in, no matter what level you're on.
Yeah, because it's so cutthroat.
Yeah. Unless you're winning, you're gone. Somebody else can come in and do something better than you and probably for cheaper.
Well, and then look at like Lincoln Riley and Ryan Kelly just dipping out for fucking $100 million. No questions asked. Yep. Leaving a top university. Oh, peace. 100 million. I'll just rebuild the same thing over here. Give me some time. It's like college is so interchangeable that way where the NFL isn't because of the cities that they're in, the people. There's so much more that goes into it than a college. Where colleges are they're all ran like factories.
Mm-hmm.
Money-making factories is all they are.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, that concludes the end of our NCAA segment for today. If you'd like to hear our NFL, NHL, NBA takes, PGA as well, please click on our other videos released today as well. We'll see you guys on Friday.